Festival really comes around the career fair itself. So we have 35 vendors. Correct me if I'm wrong. 34 vendors. And the vendors consist of the U.S. military, so most of the branches, if not all of them, are represented in some way. We have the state police, we have Berks County as far as their law enforcement teams. The sheriff will be here with drones and how they're incorporating UAVs. We also have many schools that will be here and organizations around creating jobs for aviation. So one of the things would be like the Latino Pilots Association, and they will be here, and we feel that it's really important to have them to pull our community together. They also, those types of organizations and schools do provide scholarships, and they have many opportunities, and we expect to have mostly students here for that career fair, and that's what our target market is. As far as anyone that wants to come out, again, is free admission. We'd like to have them come out and see the aircraft. They're going to be on the ramp. So those things might be military aircraft. We have a C-130 definitely coming, a Navy T-6B trainer, and we have many civilian aircraft that will be on display. We are offering, or have an entity that's offering rides, that Chester County Aviation will be here with helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, weather pending, and they'll be providing those rides fairly inexpensively, at $55 to $60 a person, to experience aviation firsthand. Anyone that RSVPs for the event, by Friday evening, we will be announcing on Saturday they have a chance to win a free airplane ride that's going to be provided by Reading Aero Club, and we also have swag that we'll be giving away and some VIP tours and meet and greets with the military pilots. So lots of good things. We also have music. Live music will be 12 to 4, again, trying to create that festival type atmosphere, and Clingers will be providing the food. They have kind of takeout food, and then obviously you can sit down in the restaurant as well. So.
Are there any areas in aviation where you're hoping to get more jobs, maybe there's lower numbers?
Yeah, so the types of jobs that are really high in demand right now are the pilot industry is starting to find out that they need to pull more, so you see a lot of airline interest. I don't know if I mentioned them, but we do have airlines coming, specifically Piedmont, and we also have Endeavor Air as well, and Republic. So we will be seeing some of the recruiting staff as well as actual pilots from those organizations and some of their parent companies. We have some friends of the community, some friends from like American Airlines coming to be able to talk to students about how to become pilots. So there's different tracks within that pilot community. So you'll see the airlines, military represented, and corporate aviation, including Quest Diagnostics, will be participating as well. The other big one is maintenance. So you see a lot of maintenance schools and opportunities here as well if someone wants to become an aviation maintenance technician, which is a great career for anybody that's mechanically minded, as you saw in the video with Piedmont and their scholarship. And then lastly, but not least, we'll be talking about air traffic controllers. So at the seminars, that's at least 3 of the things we'll be talking about. There's plenty of other opportunities. There's so many other smaller roles within that group. So we've got people like line service staff and people that fuel the airplanes, and we need gate technicians and all types of people to run that business. So,
Lots of different jobs that people don't even think about.
Very, very much so. Any other questions?
Like mentioned, you have 2 flight schools.
Yes, we do have 2 flight schools coming this weekend as well. So Chester County Aviation, and we're expecting Infinity Aviation to be here as well. So they're both 141 schools. So that's the type of school that you could go into and potentially even partner with a college to get some type of credits.
And as far as the drone, are they classes or just a...
So we have 6 seminars this weekend from 9 to 3:30. One of them is drones and how that technology is affecting the industry. We'll be talking about safety with drones, like if you were going to use it recreationally, or even what it takes to become a commercial operator. So, anything else? Okay. Well, we can go out on the ramp if you'd like. I can show you some of the things that we're setting up for, and if you have any other questions, we can do that as well. But if you want to take some video outside.
You say anything about the airport? Future thought.
Yeah, so again, future of the authority as we move forward. The airport is really excited about that, the FBO acquisition. The airport will be the sole fuel provider and service provider on the airport. With that, we'll be gaining a lot of control over our property that we haven't had in a long time, and we're expecting to be meeting with developers and private organizations that would like to invest in the airport's future. And we have many projects on the docket for 2024, including improvements in LED lighting, approach lighting, and even talking about the parking lot for the terminal and kind of making the airport, again, updates for many of the infrastructure here. I will say I did just receive communication from the Air National Guard that's bringing the C-130. They'll even be bringing a Rolls-Royce engine setup and multiple, they're actually upping their count to 8 individuals coming because they're all in and trying to make sure they get as much opportunity, or talking about as much opportunity as possible with the Air National Guard as well. So, any other questions? Any thoughts?
Do we want to invite the others to say anything? Or?
Yeah. Does anyone have any comments?
All right, well, yeah.
So I want to thank Zach and his team and the Reading Aero Club. This really was a brainchild of the Reading Aero Club. It's mentioned in the video, but it was the 90th anniversary last year. And the Aero Club said, we want to do something different. What can we do to help more than the club, but the industry? And it was such a success. You think about it, that was the first year. And they don't have exact numbers, but 300 to 500 people coming through, that is pretty significant. And I think it's even more important because at the time, they knew a little bit that the county and the airport authority were talking about changing the way the airport was operated. But since then, there's been a fundamental change and a real focus on the future of the airport. And quite frankly, aviation careers is a big part of that. And so we are very excited as county commissioners. We're very excited as an airport authority about this event, but more importantly, the long-term impacts and potential benefit for this. One of the things that's mentioned, I mentioned it, and then Zach reiterated it, and you might want some context. Our stated objective is to become the #1 general aviation airport in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania by economic impact. We're number 12 right now. And of that list of 12, there's only Reading and one other airport that doesn't have commercial service that's on that list. All the others have commercial service. And that's where the $77 million number came from. And we didn't do that study. That's a PennDOT Board of Aviation study that came out earlier this year. So it is attainable. And so we're looking at everything from an authority standpoint. I think we've well on our way to developing a great relationship with our tenants, something that really wasn't there before. There wasn't a proactive effort to bring the tenants into the process, into the discussions. And so I'm excited about where we're headed, but I'm even more excited about the focus on careers in aviation, and that's what this event is all about on Saturday. I'll be here for at least part of the day, and I'm hoping we don't get washed out 2 years in a row. That's kind of, if we had planned that, it couldn't happen, but we're not planning it. I just looked 61% a chance of rain, so hopefully things will work out well. So Slim, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the Aero Club, because without the Aero Club, this event wouldn't happen.
Sure. Thank you, Commissioner. All right, just a couple of things. I mean, as president of the Aero Club, I am very proud to be back here and be a part of this organization and be a part of this event. So you mentioned what it's going to look like when you walk in the door. I think the number one thing I would say is you will see what the opportunity to become a part of the aviation world is not just for other people to do. It's something that you can do. All you have to do is put your mind to it. I grew up on a farm 3 miles from here. I remember back in the late 70s watching the Blue Angels fly overhead our farm and thinking, airplanes are awesome. And it took me a long time and a lot of hard work to finally figure out that it was a career that I wanted to do. But I spent probably 20 years thinking that flying airplanes is something else, or is something that other people do, not something that I could do. So I joined the military. I flew all over the world and retired, and I had nowhere else to go. So, and really thinking about my family's farm here, the one place that really called me back here was Reading. So I came back here, and now I'm very proud to be a part of this whole event, and certainly proud to be the president of the Reading Aero Club. So when you walk in to the career fair on Saturday, you're going to see people recruiting pilots, people recruiting aircraft maintenance technicians, folks with opportunities and scholarships to go to school for all sorts of careers in aviation. And it will be proof that it's not something that other people do, it's something that you can do. All you have to do is put your mind to it, and the first step is come out to our career fair. So that's a little bit about me. Talking a little bit about the Reading Aero Club, which is a group of 60 men who we've been around for 90 years in the local area.
Paul has, the rest have.
Well, that's right. Paul was here before that, actually. He's got firsthand contacts with Wilbur and Orville, but that's another story for another event. No, so the Reading Aero Club is just a fantastic organization that one thing that you have to know about pilots is, to be a pilot, you have to be able to talk about airplanes for hours and hours, and that's pretty much what we do. And to be able to expand that conversation to include everybody else is kind of where this event was founded. But yeah, we've been here on the airfield. We love partnering with the commissioner, with Zach, to help make this airfield a more, as you stated, the number one. Okay, I'd have
General Aviation Airport in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
the number one general aviation airport in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we'd be happy to do our part. And we'll certainly buy plenty of fuel and do lots of touch and goes on the airport, if nothing else. So, you guys have any questions for me?
Do you need your name and spelling?
Sure. Oh, yeah, sure.
Pardon?
Your name and spelling.
Oh, my name is Oliver Rick. First name Oliver, O-L-I-V-E-R. Last name Rick, R-I-C-K. Got it? Thanks. I think Zach wants to take us outside. It's a pretty day out there. We got a couple of small airplanes and. I've always wanted to carry a camera too, so if you guys need that.
Well done.
Oh. No, yeah.
I'd like to think that it wouldn't, but I don't know.
They're totally different experience.
It is. That's
And
why.
I love both, but I really like being in a
Oh,
small
really?
plane. Yeah.
I don't have a problem flying, but you know what I mean. It's better clothes like that.
Yeah?
No.
You should go out and, I don't know. Let me see if the airplane's on the schedule. Want to take her out for, you want to go out for a flight?
No, I'm good.
So Zach, why don't you take us through what you have here and
Yeah, so these will be on display during the show, as well as military vehicles. So the the Air Force will be bringing some wreckers that they would have, and then we also have our which is airport rescue and firefighting equipment. This is our 3 of our 4 trucks. Small is 300 gallons, middle is 500 gallons, and the big truck is 3,300 gallons. The 3,300 gallon truck is actually given to us by the Air Force in the surplus program, so we essentially paid very little to get that here and get it up to speed, and it definitely provides us with a extra level of protection for all the jet traffic that comes in and out of Reading. So the whole ramp will be set up, barricades all the way around, and we expect the C-130 will probably take up this whole area right here where the trucks actually are. So we'll be, you'd have to walk all the way around it to get to the other side of the ramp, but we expect at least to have those here, even with the weather, rain